Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Unsolicited Feedback, where we make sure success isn't left to chance. Because let's face it, hope is not a business strategy. Nope, instead, we're all about getting results through smart planning, strong leadership, and flawless execution. I'm your host, Chuck Knabusch, the operations guy, coming at you with over 40 years of experience in everything from military to corporate America and entrepreneurship. Been around long enough to know what works, what doesn't, and most importantly, how execution is what actually turns plans into real world success. If you're with me live, drop your questions and comments in the chat. I love hearing from you and getting into some good discussions. And if you're catching it on a replay, you know the drill. Email me anytime at chuck@1310.com. So let's get into it. Today's topic, simple but important, understanding the assignment. Now, let me tell you something. I was cruising down the expressway the other day when I spotted a billboard. Yeah, but it made me do a double take. And no, it wasn't for some cheesy come visit our gas station ad. This was a sign from Buc-ee's. If you know, you know. Now, Buc-ee's has made waves across Texas and is expanding fast. We're talking about locations in Tennessee, Florida, Mississippi, Georgia. I hear they're building one in Ohio, maybe even more. If you've been there, you know the drill. Clean, efficient, well-stocked, and somehow making even the simplest things feel like an experience. And sure, their billboards are catchy, but this one stopped me in my tracks. It read, "We understood the assignment." 4 simple words. And man, if you've ever been to a Buc-ee's, you know what they're talking about. They're walking the walk. Here, let me go ahead and show you what the sign looked like. Yeah, we understood the assignment. This happened to be to a Buc-ee's that I visit regularly. It's only 67 miles away, but would I go ahead and go again? Absolutely. I go regularly. Now, Buc-ee's has made waves across Texas, and it is expanding fast. We're talking all sorts of locations, as I mentioned before. And sure, billboards are catchy, but this one, it resonated. It resonated with the operations guy. I mean, never before have I stopped, turned the car around to go ahead and take a picture, as I showed you. So, but here's the thing. Buc-ee's wasn't just setting up any gas station. They were thinking about what you, the customer, wanted when pulling up to refuel after a long drive. I bet if I asked you right now, you'd want a few basic things from a gas station, right? Let me know what comes to mind, but here's a quick list that I came up with. First, a bunch of pumps, because who wants to wait in line to get gas? And of course, you want gas, diesel. Both options are available. All the different grades, regular, mid-grade, premium. And for those with some kinds of engines, you might even want some ethanol free, just in case. And that's great. Buc-ee's has them all. And of course, some shelter over the pumps. So when it's raining, and Southeast Texas is raining a lot, you're not getting soaked. Trash cans, because let's face it, while we're pumping gas, a lot of us clean our cars. And possibly a squeegee to clean off all the bugs. And again, Southeast Texas, between mayflies, June bugs, love bugs, mosquitoes, our windshields get filthy. We've all been there. So, but let's talk about numbers a little bit. Buc-ee's doesn't just hit the mark here. They obliterate it. At some of their locations, you're looking at 50 plus pumps. That's right, more than 50. Actually, I was at a Buc-ee's on Sunday coming back from my granddaughter had a basketball game. And we had to wait in line to hit one of those 50 pumps. They were all full. Not awful, all full. Anyway, and they've got every gas option as you can dream of, as I mentioned. All covered, trash cans that actually get emptied regularly. In fact, I've even been at Buc-ee's before where they shut down a half dozen or so pumps so they could go ahead and power wash the concrete. amazing. But that's just the gas station. We're not halfway through the story yet. Imagine your perfect convenience store right next or attached to that gas station. What would you expect? Yeah, I'm guessing some things like clean restrooms, no brainer there. A killer selection of fountain drinks, a fridge stocked with cold drinks. Hydration is key. Snacks that actually satisfy your cravings, and maybe even some hot food, something fresh, maybe even made to order. Oh, and ice. Let's not forget ice. So let me go ahead and tell you about Buc-ee's. 15 to 20 stalls in the men's room. We're not talking about the urinals. They've got another 15 or 20 of those. I can't speak personally from the women's, but from what I hear from my wife, equally impressive and spotlessly clean. Seriously, you could eat off the floor, although I wouldn't recommend it. The convenience store got fountain drinks that stretch for 8, 10, 16 feet. There's frozen drinks, tons of coolers, probably 30 or 40 feet of coolers. And everything from soft drinks to energy drinks, and of course, their famous beaver nuggets. Don't even get me started. I'm actually a connection to some friends of mine up in Michigan because they're not close enough to a Buc-ee's. So we'll pick some beaver nuggets up and take them up there. In fact, we were just talking about that the other day. And food, fresh brisket, pulled pork, burritos, sandwiches, basically anything you could want when you're hungry on the road. And it's all fresh. They're constantly refreshing it, making sure it's always ready for you. And let's not forget the fudge and the wine. And I've always wanted to say this. And wait, there's more. Buc-ee's has everything from outdoor cooking supplies to seasonal stuff like yard blow-ups, pool toys, and ice. Yes, remember the old 99-cent ice? They still have it. So this isn't a shameless plug for Buc-ee's. I'm not a paid advertiser for Buc-ee's, but I'm definitely a fan. This is just a quick case study in how operations, planning, and leadership, along with execution, can deliver the results you're looking for. Buc-ee's didn't start with all those massive pumps and gigantic stores. They started small, paid attention to what their customers wanted, and then they scaled up, refining things as they want. Now that electric cars are the thing, they probably have 20 Tesla chargers. And when I was there on Sunday, they were putting in 6 or 8 other ones that seem to be branded for Mercedes-Benz. I don't know if that's a different hookup or not, but it's a whole nother section of the parking lot that's going to be taken up for electric vehicles. But let's get to the heart of it. Do you understand the assignment as well as Buc-ee's? Yeah, I mean, my wife can walk into Buc-ee's and we can spend an hour, hour and a half in a convenience store. Can you believe that? Name another convenience store that you can go ahead and spend an hour, hour and a half in and not realize that much time had flown by. So do you know what your assignment is from your customers? Do you know exactly what your customers need? Do you know what you're delivering? And are you delivering in a way that truly delights them? Because if you don't, that's where things can go off track. So how do we get better at this? How do we ensure that we understand the assignment? Whether the assignment from our customers, the assignment from our boss, giving assignments to our staff. Well, first and foremost, we need to listen to the voice of the customer. Buc-ee's didn't just guess at what customers wanted. They listened. Do you have a system in place to gather that feedback and make sure you're delivering on what your customers actually want? Maybe through polls, surveys, or just asking them. Are you present? It's not just about what you do. It's about how you show up. Is your facility clean? Now, in this digital day and age, we're not talking about just your physical presence, but your digital presence also. Is it sharp? Is your website, has it been updated lately? Does it accurately reflect what you do, your values, your vision? Is it fresh and easy to navigate? Third, leadership. Leadership doesn't just set the vision and expect everybody else to go ahead and live up to it. They live it. At Buc-ee's, you'll often see leadership on the ground ensuring that everything is running smoothly. They're emptying trash cans. They're grabbing a mop and mopping the floor. They're jumping in to clean the restrooms or fix things. So they're not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk. So here's your call to action for the coming week. One, make sure your team understands the assignment clearly as you do. Be crystal clear in your expectations. Have them ask questions to make sure they get it. And if things change along the way, don't be shy. Don't just assume everybody knows. Have that conversation. Capture that voice of the customer. It could be as simple as a quick survey or just talking to your customers. Get their feedback, but make that feedback count. Third, lead the charge. Take that customer feedback and use it to drive improvements. Whether it's monthly or quarterly, make it a point to review and refine based on what your customers are telling you. It's simple. Maybe not easy, but it's definitely worth it. So that's it for today, folks. I'm Chuck Knabusch. Oh, hang on. Let me go ahead and give you my QR code. Here we go. Here's my QR code. Unsolicited feedback. It'll go ahead and give you a short capture of the call to action of the things that we talked about here and give you an opportunity to go ahead and capture if you weren't able to take notes. I understand that. So again, that's it for today, folks. I'm Chuck Knabusch. This has been another episode of Unsolicited Feedback. Don't forget, hope it's not a fail. All about thoughtful planning, leadership, and making it happen. Until then, driving in. That's the